This question is really a graphing question, making sure you know how your calculator works. You'll notice that it's exactly the same equations that we had in the previous one, and it's asking you to match with the graph. Now there are 8 graphs and I can't fit them all on here, but if you can do one of them, you can do all of them because it's just a matching thing. So I'm going to show you just real quickly how to graph on your calculator in case you're not familiar with it. This is how you do it on TI-83 or TI-84. What you want to do is hit the Y equal button, and yours might not be color coded like this, but that's okay. And you should see a whole bunch of Y equals. Now if you've taken statistics, you might see some of these plots highlighted like this. What you want to do is make sure they're all not highlighted or it won't work. But if you want to figure out what Y equals 1 over X looks like, you just type in the 1 divided by X part. The X button is this button right here. Hit enter. And now if you want to make sure you want to be able to see the graph, you hit zoom and you want to go down to the standard one. So either press the down arrow a lot or you can just hit the number 6. And that's not one that's actually on here because like I said, I couldn't really fit all 8 without this being a very long scrolling problem. But you would only see one graph that looks like that, and that'll be 1 over X. Now I will do one that matches here just so you can see how it works. Let's say we do the cube root of X. All the rest, actually I should do the absolute value as well. If you want to type in the cube root, so the square root button is right here, usually on the X squared, but that's not where the cube root is. So if you want to do the cube root, what you do is you hit math, and on this very first one, you can hit on number 4 here. You see there's a 3 with a radical in front. That's the cube root. Also, if you want to do a different root, you can go on number 5 here. And the way that works is if you type in, let me go back to my Y equals, if you hit the root that you want, like 3, and then you go down to this one, the way it'll make it look like that for you. Now yours might not look like that if you have a TI-83, it probably just has a 3 in front, but it'll read it the same way. So that'll be the cube root of X, and then if we hit enter, if you don't mess with your window, then if you hit graph, you'll be in the same window, and that would be C. So just to kind of reference one of these here, this would be C for us because it matches the shape. And none of these look so similar that you would get confused between one or another. The only other one I want to make sure we graph is the absolute value of X. The absolute value of X is in the same spot. If you hit math, now it's not in this first one here, it's over, if you scroll over to NUM and then you see ABS, that's where the absolute value is. Now when you click it, some of them will make the vertical bar and some will just say ABS. If yours says ABS, put an X right after it and then close the parentheses. If you have the vertical bar, then just make it look like this and then you hit graph. The absolute value graph it looks like a B. But as you go through this problem, you can just, the point is you can figure out what all these look like by typing it in your calculator. You don't have to learn how to graph every little thing in this class. There's only a few things that we really need to learn how to graph. Okay.